Hello, curious minds, and welcome back to the Money Adventure. I'm Jamie, your guide on this incredible journey.
And I'm Alex, your fellow explorer, always ready to ask, wait, how does that actually work? Today, Jamie, we're diving into something that touches all of our lives, whether we realize it or not, how to truly understand and manage our money to build the future we dream of.
That's right, Alex. It's not about being a math wizard or having a secret treasure map. It's about knowing a few simple principles and putting them into practice. Think of it like learning to play a fantastic video game. You need to understand the rules, know your character's strengths, and strategize to win.
A video game? I like that. So what's the very first level of this money adventure game?
The very first level, Alex, is understanding your starting point. Imagine you're about to embark on a grand journey. Before you can plan where you're going, you need to know what you have in your backpack and what you might owe to friends. We call this your net worth.
My net worth? Is that just how much money I have in my pocket?
Not quite. Think of it like this. Your net worth is the grand total of everything you own, what we call assets, minus everything you owe, which are liabilities. So, if you have a shiny new bike, some savings in a piggy bank, or even a collection of valuable comic books, those are your assets. They add value to your backpack.
Oh, like my super speedy skateboard? That's an asset.
Exactly. But then, imagine you borrowed some snacks from a friend for the journey, or maybe you have a payment plan for that awesome new video game console. Those are your liabilities, things you still need to pay back. They take away from the total value in your backpack.
So, if I count all my cool stuff, my skateboard, my savings, and then subtract what I still need to pay back, that's my net worth. It's like my personal financial score.
Precisely. And knowing that score is crucial. It gives you a real picture of where you stand. The goal is always to make that net worth number grow, just like you want your score to go up in a game. But your net worth is only one part of the picture. We also need to look at the flow of money, like water in a river.
Money as water? How so?
Well, imagine your money coming into your life like rain falling into a special bucket. That's your income. It's the money you earn from your job or maybe from selling some of your handmade crafts. And then, from that bucket, you have water flowing out to water your plants. Those are your expenses. These are the things you spend money on: food, clothes, a place to live, your fun activities, even those video game subscriptions.
So, income is rain coming in, and expenses are water going out to water my plants. Got it.
The trick is to make sure you have more rain coming in than water flowing out to your plants. If the water flows out too quickly, your bucket becomes empty, and you might have to borrow water from somewhere else, which can get complicated.
Ah, so it's about making sure my rain bucket always has enough for my plants and maybe a little extra to save. But what about those times when the water does flow out too fast, or when I owe too many snacks to my friends? That sounds like debt.
You've hit on one of the biggest challenges for many people, Alex: debt. Think of debt like carrying extra weight in your backpack. Some weight can be helpful, maybe a sturdy tent that helps you camp and enjoy your journey even more. That's what we call good debt. It's usually something that helps you build something valuable or earn more in the future, like a student loan for an education or a mortgage for a home that will likely grow in value.
So, good debt is like a tool that makes my journey better?
Exactly. But then there's bad debt. This is like carrying heavy, unnecessary rocks in your backpack. It doesn't help you build anything. It just slows you down and can even make you tired. These are things like high-interest credit card debt, where the money you borrowed costs you a lot extra over time, or loans for things that quickly lose value and don't give you anything in return.
Oh, so bad debt is like a heavy, spiky rock that just keeps poking me.
A perfect analogy. Now, the good news is you can get rid of those heavy rocks. There are two popular strategies, like two different paths to lighten your load: the debt snowball and the debt avalanche.
Snowball and avalanche? Sounds like something out of a snowy mountain adventure.
It does. Let's say you have several small debts, like tiny little rocks. The debt snowball method is like focusing on throwing the smallest rock out of your backpack first. You pay extra money towards that smallest debt while just making the minimum payments on the others. Once that smallest debt is gone, you take all the money you were paying on it and add it to the next smallest debt. You keep rolling that extra money into bigger and bigger payments, just like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and faster.
So I pay off the small one, feel super accomplished, and then use that excitement to tackle the next one. That sounds motivating.
It really is. The snowball method is fantastic for building confidence and momentum. But then there's the debt avalanche. This strategy is about being super efficient. Imagine those rocks in your backpack also have tiny little monsters attached to them, constantly nibbling away at your other resources. Those are high interest rates. The debt avalanche says, let's fight the biggest, hungriest monster first. You focus all your extra payments on the debt with the highest interest rate, while making minimum payments on the others. Once that high interest debt is gone, you move to the next highest interest rate.
So Avalanche saves me more resources in the long run because I'm stopping the hungriest monster first, even if it might take longer to see one rock completely disappear.
That's the key difference. The avalanche method saves you the most money in interest over time. Both methods work. It just depends on whether you're motivated by quick wins or by saving the most money. The important thing is to pick a strategy and stick with it until all those bad debt rocks are out of your backpack.
Okay, so I know my net worth score, I'm tracking my income and expenses, and I have a plan for my debt. What's next? Where do I even begin to decide what to do with my money?
Now comes the truly exciting part, Alex, setting your financial goals. This is like looking at your adventure map and deciding where you truly want to go. Do you want to build a magnificent treehouse, travel to a far-off land, or maybe save up for a powerful telescope to explore the stars?
I want to build a super cool gaming PC and maybe one day travel to that far-off land you mentioned.
Excellent goals. But here's the trick. Simply saying, I want a gaming PC isn't enough. You need to be specific. How much does that gaming PC cost? When do you want to have it? And what about that trip? Where exactly? And by when? We call these SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
So instead of gaming PC, it's I want to save $2,000 for a gaming PC in 6 months. That's much clearer.
Absolutely. Once you have clear destinations on your map, you can start drawing the path. And that path is your budget and forecast.
A budget? That sounds like telling my money no fun allowed.
Not at all. A budget is actually about telling your money yes to the things that truly matter to you. Think of it like a recipe for your money. You list all your ingredients, your income, then you decide how much of each ingredient goes into different parts of your meal, your expenses, and your savings.
A money recipe? So I'm deciding how to cook my money to get to my goals?
You got it. And a good recipe isn't just for one meal, it's designed to help you plan for the whole year with monthly check-ins. We call this a 12-month forecast with monthly check-ins. You look at your income and all your expected expenses for the entire year: rent, food, bills, fun money, and importantly, money for your goals. Then you break it down month by month.
But what if something unexpected happens, like a surprise pizza party or my skateboard needs new wheels?
That's why the monthly check-ins are so important. It's like checking on your recipe midway through cooking. If you realize you used too much flour, you can adjust the other ingredients. If you spent a little more on fun this month, you can adjust by spending a little less next month, or finding a way to earn a bit more. This flexible approach makes budgeting a helpful tool, not a restrictive chore. A simple rule of thumb many use is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income for needs, like a place to live, food, 30% for wants, like entertainment, eating out, and 20% for saving and paying off debt. It's a great starting point for your money recipe.
Okay, so I've got my destination, I've got my money recipe. What next? Just put all my extra money in my piggy bank?
That's a good start, but it's not the most powerful way to make your money work for you. Leaving all your money in a simple, low-interest piggy bank, or what we call a basic checking or savings account, is like having a team of tiny workers, but they're all just sleeping instead of building anything for you. Your money isn't really growing. In fact, due to something called inflation, it might actually be losing a little bit of its buying power over time.
Inflation? What's that?
Think of inflation like a mischievous little monster that slowly but surely makes everything a little more expensive over time. The same amount of money you have today might buy you a slightly smaller treat tomorrow. So if your money is just sitting there, not earning anything, that monster is nibbling away at its value. That's why we need to send our money to work.
Send our money to work? How do I do that? Do I give it a tiny briefcase?
You can, but instead of a briefcase, you give it a mission to grow. One way is to put your savings in a high-yield savings account or a certificate of deposit, which are like special, more active piggy banks that pay you more for keeping your money there. This is a great place for your emergency fund.
Emergency fund? What's that for?
Your emergency fund is like having a sturdy umbrella and raincoat ready for unexpected storms. It's money set aside for things you can't predict, like if your computer breaks or you suddenly need to fix something important. Most experts suggest having enough saved to cover 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. It's your financial safety net, giving you peace of mind.
So, emergency fund first, then send the rest of my money to work even harder?
Exactly. Once you have that emergency fund ready and any high-interest debt is under control, then it's time to start investing. Investing is like planting a garden. You put seeds, your money, into good soil, take care of them, and over time, they grow into much bigger plants, or even trees, that produce more seeds. This is how you make your money truly work for you over the long term.
Planting a money garden. That sounds cool. But where do I even start planting? Is it complicated?
It can seem complicated, but it doesn't have to be. For many people, a great way to start is by investing in something like an index fund, specifically one that tracks the S&P 500.
The S&P 500? Is that a secret code for super investors?
Not at all. Imagine the 500 biggest, most successful companies in a country all forming a super team. The S&P 500 index tracks how well that entire super team is doing. When you invest in an S&P 500 index fund, you're essentially putting a tiny bit of your money into all those 500 companies at once. This spreads out your risk because you're not just relying on one company to do well.
So instead of picking one player, I'm cheering for the whole super team. That makes sense. It feels less risky.
It does. Over many, many years, this super team has historically performed very well. The key with investing is to start early and be patient. Time is your best friend because of something called compound interest.
Compound interest? Another secret code?
Not secret, but definitely powerful. Imagine you plant a seed and it grows into a plant. Then that plant produces more seeds and you plant those new seeds too. And those new seeds grow into more plants and more seeds. It's like your money earning money, and then that new money also earns money. And it keeps growing and growing like a snowball rolling down a hill, but this time it's a good snowball.
Wow, so the earlier I start planting my money seeds, the more plants and seeds I'll have in the future.
Exactly. It's one of the most powerful concepts in building wealth. Now, Alex, let's talk about some of the bigger decisions you might face on your adventure. Things like buying a car or even a home.
Oh, like picking out a new vehicle for my journey. That sounds like fun.
It can be fun, but it's also where many people make choices that set them back financially. When it comes to buying a car, it's easy to get excited by the shiny new model or the latest features. But think of a car less like a fun toy and more like a tool. You need a tool that gets the job done reliably without draining all your resources. A good rule of thumb is to keep the total cost of your car, including loans, within 25 to 35% of your annual income. And if you do get a loan, try to put down at least 20% of the price as a down payment and keep the loan term short, ideally no more than 48 months. This way, you don't spend years paying for something that loses value so quickly.
So it's not just the sticker price, but how much I'll pay in total over time, plus how much it eats into my yearly earnings. That makes sense.
And then there's an even bigger decision, whether to buy or rent a home. For a long time, people have been told that buying a home is always the best path, a sign of success. But it's not always that simple. Think of it like this. Buying a home is like building a permanent castle, while renting is like having a flexible, comfortable base camp.
A castle sounds pretty great, though.
A castle can be great, but it comes with a lot of responsibilities and hidden costs. When you buy a home, you're responsible for all the repairs, the taxes, the insurance, and if anything breaks, it's on you. These are hidden costs that many people forget to factor in. Plus, if you need to move for a new job or a new adventure, selling a house can be a long, complicated process.
So a castle ties me down a bit more.
Exactly. A base camp, on the other hand, gives you flexibility. If you're not sure where you want to settle down, or if your job might take you to different cities, renting allows you to move easily. And while you might not be building equity, a fancy word for owning more of your home over time, you're also not responsible for repairs or property taxes. The money you save by not buying a house might even be invested and grow faster than the value of a house in some areas.
So it's not about one being definitively better, but about which fits my journey and my financial situation right now?
That's the core idea. It's about weighing the opportunity cost. What else could you do with that money if you didn't buy a house? And how does it fit with your life plan? There's no single right answer, only the right answer for you, based on careful calculation and honest self-reflection.
This has been incredible, Jamie. It sounds like the big idea behind all of this isn't just about numbers, but about making smart choices for my future. It's about taking control of my money adventure.
You've got it, Alex. The biggest takeaway is this. You are the hero of your own financial story. You don't need to be born with a silver spoon or have a finance degree to master your money. By understanding your starting point, setting clear goals, tackling debt strategically, making your money work for you, and thinking wisely about big decisions, you truly can build a future that aligns with your biggest dreams. It's about discipline, smart choices, and a long-term mindset. And it's an adventure anyone can embark on, starting today.
Wow, I feel like I've just been given the ultimate strategy guide for life. Thank you, Jamie, for breaking down these complex ideas into something so clear and actionable. I'm ready to start charting my course.
And that's what it's all about, Alex. Thanks for exploring these important ideas with me and with all of our curious minds out there.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building that amazing future.
We'll catch you next time on The Money Adventure.
Goodbye.
Bye.